Hello one and all, and welcome to Behind the Glass, your weekly automotive podcast hosted by two rather uninformed enthusiasts.
No.
I'm Sam from the YouTube channel Seen Through Glass.
I'm Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales.
And you can watch us each week. We hope you enjoy the episode. We never actually spoke on Sunday.
Did we?
We didn't speak on Sunday after the Grand Prix.
Oh, no, we didn't. No, we normally do, actually.
We normally do. You wouldn't have liked me.
Did you go on? What happened?
Well, Charles Leclerc won in a Ferrari at Monza.
Oh, yeah, I know, yeah.
Oh, I had a panic attack.
Oh, really?
I was, mate.
I thought
all
you
the
liked
emotion.
Lewis.
I do. I've always said I support Lewis, but Charles Leclerc is my number two.
Ah.
And it's Ferrari
Yeah,
in Monza.
fair.
And it was
Yeah,
unexpected.
Okay. Yeah.
I was crying. Lewis wasn't going to win. He was miles off the pace. So.
Was you crying, though? Really?
Well, no, but like with joy, like in a sort of, sporting emotion kind of way.
You was happy.
Like I don't, even in 2021, it's not like I was crying when Lewis lost. Like I don't cry at sport, unlike you when Tottenham lose again. But I do feel the emotion of sport.
All right. Well, so do I, because I'm more into sport than you. You just like F1.
No, I disagree.
Mate, you've got two left feet.
I love the Olympics.
I
love the Olympics.
I bet you watch the Eurovision Song Contest, don't you?
I do, actually.
Oh, see?
That's another great sport, actually. I like big sport. I like occasion sport, you know? I like World Cup and Euros finals.
Nice.
I like the last day of any golf open.
Tennis final.
Tennis finals.
Yeah.
Is Draper still in? No, is it Draper? Yeah, Jack Draper. Is he still in the US Open? He got through to the quarterfinals, didn't he?
No idea, mate.
Tennis is probably the sport I follow the most.
Really?
Alongside motorsport. Yeah, I love a bit of tennis.
Yeah, I do like tennis as well.
I just haven't had anyone to support for a while because I was an Andy Murray guy.
You know, Paul Wallace was very, very good at tennis when he was younger, don't you?
Surprisingly, I do know that because he tells everyone that.
Yeah, he literally tells everyone, yeah.
I know Jack Draper's playing this evening. Oh, that's exciting.
Are you going to watch it?
Yeah, mate.
All right.
So I get invested. I like seeing people when they win. I like all I like that celebration moment.
Yeah,
I'm
fun.
really not fussed by like league football.
What are you going to do next year if Lewis wins at Ferrari? I mean, you are going to cry, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, at Silverstone this year when he won, I put my phone away to be in the moment because
fair.
I was like, there is a small chance, which we now know is not the truth, but there was a small chance that would have been the last time I saw Lewis Hamilton win a race because we didn't realise it in 2020. I was so lucky to be there. I was at Jeddah and then Abu Dhabi. So the back-to-back, the last two races of the 2021 season, I was there and it was amazing and incredible. And I never thought, I'm never going to see Lewis win a race again. And then over the last 3 years or so, it kind of felt that way until Silverstone. So I was like, I want to remember this. I want to be here just in case it doesn't work out. Obviously, then he won Spa via disqualification and things are looking good. But yeah, I let the emotions take a hold of me. I didn't cry, but I was like, woo.
Yeah, good. Well done.
Anyway, mate, let's switch back to cars because this is supposed to be a car podcast.
Right.
It very rarely is a car podcast. What's been happening in your car world? What's been going on? Did you go to any of these big events? There was Salon Privé here in the UK at the weekend. There was the Hampton Court Concours d'Elegance. Various other car events. Did you do any of this stuff? No. Why am I not surprised?
No, I didn't. I've been to both of them before, though.
Sure.
Absolutely.
You've been to the Hampton Court one?
I actually really like that one.
Really?
Oh, did you?
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why do you like that one? Because it's a traditional Concours d'Elegance. So we're talking about, I would say, pre-80s cars. The majority of it is pre-80s cars.
Yeah, there's some modern stuff there as well.
Yeah, there is. But it's modern classics.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, because it wasn't like the normal. I've only been once, by the way.
Okay. Not gone back.
Not a returning guest, no.
Liked it, just not enough to go back.
No, yeah, because I'd never been before, so I took myself there. Me and a couple of friends went, actually. And we had a nice day, and that was it.
Was it nice weather?
It was, yeah.
I think.
It was a few years ago.
Yeah, as a day out, it's one of the nicest. If you're London-based.
Yeah, because it's quite close.
It's super close. The setting is stunning. Hampton Court Palace.
Yeah.
Old family home of mine.
Yeah. Near the maze.
Literally near the maze.
Yeah.
The cars are sort of spread out on this fan sort of setup. They drive up to collect their prizes for the Concours. It's a really nice event. Yeah. Never would have thought
Freddie was there. TFJJ, of course.
Of course.
He's always bloody everywhere.
He's everywhere at the minute.
Well, just Period, mate. Full stop.
Salon Privé.
I've been there.
Yeah, I like that one less.
Couple of times I've been there.
It's too. I don't know what to. I think it's too boring.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, I
Yeah.
find it a bit.
Yeah.
You do a lap, you see everything, and you go,
What now?
"What now?"
Walk up and down the castle where the big house is, not the castle.
Blenheim
the
Palace.
The big, Blenheim Palace. That's it.
That's where it is, isn't it? Is
Yeah.
it Blenheim?
Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't go to either of those. That doesn't help my conversation at all. Did you do anything car related?
I went to Germany again.
No, you did not.
Oh, did you?
You were in Germany at the weekend.
I was, yeah. Took my nephew and my brother-in-law. Never been. So
You were insane. You went to
No.
Nürburgring.
Yeah. I told you, mate. Every time I got a free weekend, I just get in the car and go.
How did I not know that you were in the Nürburgring?
I don't tell everyone. I just go.
No, but I mean, we were talking every day. You didn't say like,
Not on the weekend. We didn't.
2 seconds, I can have a schnitzel.
No, I'm fed up with schnitzels. We didn't talk with the weekend.
We didn't actually, no.
No.
So off
But
you
I
went.
didn't feel the need I had to tell you. I mean, it's pretty boring because I go all the while.
It is actually.
Yeah.
Did you have a nice time?
I actually had a lovely time because the track was closed on Saturday, so it was very quiet. So we drove out Saturday morning and spent all the Sunday there. It was very nice, mate. Yeah. That's exactly. There's no point me telling you because you're not interested. So I don't want to. I don't want you to feel how I feel about you listening to you all the time. So I just keep my mouth shut.
Listen, what do I do that's
You just
super
talk complete
repetitive?
toilet, mate, all the time.
Oh, but dude, I've been this, I've seen this. I wouldn't believe what I saw.
It's the same bloody stuff. Not interested, mate.
But I'm going different places.
Oh, cool. Cool story.
I just feel like every time I'm like, what have you been up to? You're like, I was at the ring.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was great because it was wet and none of the billies went round. It was just me going flat out in the wet because I'm only one with balls to go out in the wet.
I do other stuff, but obviously family stuff that I don't really need to tell the lovely people that listen.
No, fair enough. I mean, sure.
You know.
Good for you. I mean, you got a nice new hobby. It's
Go to museums and I do normal stuff with my family most of the time, but you lot don't want to hear about that.
The thing is, though, just jokes aside,
Yeah.
like, it's unbelievably accessible. I mean, the fact that you are popping out there, because a lot of people, you know, when we've been doing the tours, for example, we've got our second trial BTG driving tour coming up in a few weeks.
Looking forward to it.
Can't wait.
Yeah, me too.
And quite a lot of the people I've spoken to haven't not only done driving tours before, but not even driven into Europe before. We speak to a lot of our audience at other events that we do or when we bump into them. And a lot of people are sort of nervous or apprehensive about driving into mainland Europe. People are coming from other countries. They don't understand how it works. But you're literally going back and forth to the Nürburgring as if you're popping to see your mum in Birmingham.
Yeah, yeah. It's,
I know she's not from Birmingham,
No.
but my point being like
Yeah.
off to see the family. So
Yeah,
what
yeah.
time do you leave?
well, it depends.
No,
mate.
but okay, so at the weekend,
Yeah.
when did you depart?
So I departed at 9 a.m.
Okay.
basically.
Yeah.
I got to the Nürburgring at about 4:30 local time.
Sure.
I had a bit of dinner. I went round the track for an hour because it was open for an hour. I went to sleep, got up early the next morning, went round all day and drove home.
Drove home Saturday night?
Nope, drove home Sunday night.
Sunday night?
Yeah.
Okay, so you spent Saturday and Sunday flying around, just doing laps, hanging out, eating
Literally.
food, and drove home. And you got home what time on Sunday night?
I cheated.
Go on.
I got home first thing Monday morning because I'd stayed in Calais. Because
Interesting.
all the trains were booked.
Because it was the end of the traditional British summer holiday.
Correct. So it was absolutely rammed. So I paid £80 to stay in a Premier Inn.
Yeah, lovely.
And got a very early train, went straight to work Monday morning. So I literally missed no work. I missed nothing. So I just popped out there for the weekend.
Well, you missed Friday.
No, I didn't.
You said you left.
Because I went Saturday.
Oh, you said you left at 9 a.m. on Friday.
Saturday.
Fine. You left at 9 a.m. on Saturday.
Yeah. Normally I'd go on a Friday.
Fine. Got there Saturday afternoon, drove around all day Sunday, left Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Got back to the office Monday morning.
Perfect.
I mean, it is perfect. I mean, it's actually fantastic, but a little expensive, no?
No more expensive than doing a UK track day. Maybe
That's what I wanted to weigh up.
Yeah.
So, Hans, the tunnel is, the tunnel's what, 250 return?
bit more than that, 300 because it's time of year.
300 quid return.
Yeah.
You had Saturday night in the Nürburgring Hotel, 150 quid?
Less.
100 quid?
80.
80, so you're at 380.
Yeah.
And then the extra 80 for the Calais Hotel.
Yeah.
So you're at 460.
Yeah.
Plus your fuel.
Bit of fuel there and back.
150 quid?
There and back, 150 quid in fuel.
So what? You're 550 all in, probably.
Yeah.
Plus the dinners.
Yeah. The food's for nothing there.
How many? And when do you just buy single? How many laps do you buy? How do you do that?
No, I've got a card.
You've got a card and it charges you back.
No, I've got a season card thing.
So you already bought the season card.
Correct.
How much did that cost you?
For the year?
Yeah.
Quite a lot. €2,500.
But
It's €35 a lap.
how much is an RMA track day at Silverstone?
Now we're getting to the nitty gritty. So if you go to Silverstone or Brands Hatch, it's like 650, something like that. And I would 1,000,000% rather drive around the Nürburgring than drive round Silverstone and Brands Hatch GP, which I've done 4 million times. And by the way, the big plus is that UK track days and F1 tracks are very hard on the car, brakes and tyres. Nürburgring isn't.
Because it is a toll road.
It's very flowy.
Yeah, very flowy. No
So you
huge, heavy braking points.
Correct.
Yeah, super interesting. I think you're right. High end. There are of course cheaper track days, 1,000,000%.
Of course.
But the tracks are often not as impressive or technical. They're shorter, they're smaller, the infrastructure is worse, whatever it might be. So the amount of driving you were able to do, and the fact you're in a foreign country, a little bit of a holiday.
That's how I treat it.
Yeah.
Switch off from work for the weekend.
So 550 quid.
It's not, mate. It is a bit more than that. It worked.
Let's say it's 750 quid.
No, it's more. With the when you break everything down, the fuel in the Porsche to go round,
Yeah.
it's about 1,200 quid a weekend.
Oh, wow. Okay. God, you're rich.
What?
You're very rich.
No.
1,200 quid a weekend. Mate, it's outrageous. You're popping there every weekend. You're a madman. You're supposed to pay $5,000 a month probably on just going to the Nürburgring.
Not every week I go there.
Okay, every other week.
Possibly.
$2,500 a month to go to the Nürburgring.
Yeah, but I used to spend easily £1,500 a month doing track days when I used to do all them track days, and that don't include brakes and tyres and wear and tear on the car.
Yeah, no, fair.
So, yeah,
Cool. Well,
but I don't go on holiday, by the way, very often. I have
no, that is a good point.
I have
that
one
is a good point.
big family holiday a year. That's Christmas time.
Yeah.
So
and
when,
this summer you did a couple of weekends.
always do like long weekends and stuff. So it's just how I decide to spend my money. When you actually flare it up and add it all up, I probably, I have like 3 weeks a year off work. Literally. You have 50 weeks a year off work.
Do I even do work, mate?
No,
do I even do any work?
Your whole life is literally just a holiday.
It's a joke, isn't it?
It's absolute joke, and you get paid for it. It's unbelievable. That's really it.
No. Hey, you do what you want. I like to pick your brains onto how you justify things or how you equate it in your head, and I've now understood that, and that's fine. You get pleasure out of it. It's good for you. Crack on, son.
Yeah,
I think it's impressive, but it's not as cheap as I thought. I was going to be like, oh, cool, guys, like sack off, because I was slagging off the UK in my video that went live on Sunday, just saying that just driving this country is miserable right now. So I was going to kind of back myself up and be like, look, follow Tony. Let's all just go to the Nürburgring each weekend. Screw driving around Yorkshire, off to the ring. But actually, I think it's
no, it is more expensive, but I've driven all around the country. I've driven all around Europe.
You can justify it.
I can justify it.
Yeah, fine. Well, yeah, I also didn't go to Salon Privé or Hampton Court Concourse. I nearly did. And then
Uncles weren't around, no.
Well, I gave him a call and he said there's this awful garden party. So I skipped on those two, but I went on Sunday to watch the race at the Peninsula London, the new hotel.
Yeah, I saw that.
Bloody lovely.
Nice hotel.
Very nice.
I should go.
A bit too nice. You should go.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty sensational.
Okay.
Not cheap. But they hosted like a screening party. Saw some cool people were up there.
Nice.
Jake Dennis, who is Formula E world champion and Red Bull sim development driver, or development driver in the sim. Interesting, nice guy. Very interesting, nice guy. Shared some interesting insights and some other people. So that was cool. And aside from that, I didn't do a lot of car stuff. I went out at the end of last week after we spoke in the GT3 and the Challenge Stradale to film an update video. And yeah, I touched on this point. I do think driving in this country is getting worse and worse.
I can't stand it, mate.
And some people were like, oh, classic Southerner or classic Londoner / classic YouTuber. You know, they just go to a road 5 miles outside of London and they complain about how bad the roads are. Where I am filming on is not my sole understanding and belief of the UK road structure. My points were made after, firstly, living in this country my whole life, doing this job for 10 years now.
And driven every metre of basically every road. Literally.
And of course, yes, you can still find quiet, nice stretches of road. But the majority of UK roads now are firstly too busy. Secondly, too bumpy and bad repaired, or thirdly, with average speed cameras, police, roadworks, police, whatever it might be, that makes doing continuous, enthusiastic driving pretty difficult, especially if you're in anything that has firmer suspension than, I would say, it's firmer than an RS, like RS3 above. I would say it's pretty hard to really get up and go. The roads, you know, if they're a tight country road, the council probably hasn't looked after them, so bushes are building up high, so visibility is very poor. It's just not fun.
Nope.
Unless you are in an up GTI, a 986 Boxster S, you know, like something 200 horsepower, lots of suspension travel, I think then you're happy.
And if it also all depends what you've been exposed to as well, because we've been exposed to a lot of different roads, and you know, the roads just aren't that good in this country compared to other parts of the world. But if you've never been to other parts of the world before, you'd go, God, these roads are unbelievable. Go to Scotland or go to Wales. And yeah, we'd agree they are okay, but take yourself into Europe and then let me know how you get on then.
Well, and the flip reverse of it is, for me to do my spirited driving in Scotland is a 12-hour round trip. 6 hours each way. So that's most of the day lost in this country because we pretty much get 6 hours of daylight at best.
Yeah.
And at that point, I run the risk, if I'm heading north, of worse weather than if I do 6 hours onto the continent and improving weather. You know, that's why we do that. But yeah, anyway, so I complain. I just got triggered. I got triggered because there were a few comments being like, here is another YouTuber complaining about driving.
They must all do it then.
They must all do it. Anyway, despite the fact that we didn't do much car-related activities over the last week, there is car news to be discussed. Did you see Aston Martin unveiled the new Vanquish?
Yeah, what have they done to the back of it?
Do you not like it?
No.
Oh, I quite like it.
I like the front. Well, I like the car, actually.
I disagree. I don't dislike the front, but I prefer the rear. So what they've done...
It's like a van, mate.
You think it looks like a van? It looks like...
It's like a slab.
Yeah, I like that. Like sort of cut off, like squarey, boxy back.
Yeah, like they forgot to smooth it off.
You wanted a round bottom.
I just wanted it like... Aston Martin's a pretty, mate. Like
I think this is a pretty car.
It is pretty from looking at it at the front and the side.
Oh, no, I like the rear.
Oh, my God.
But did you see the one with the body-coloured rear? Let me see.
The black body colour at the back.
No, because that's carbon fibre.
Right.
So if it's a body-coloured... If they paint it body-coloured, I think it looks better. Hold on a sec. Let's bring up the image. It works better with a body-coloured rear panel. Hold on a
Instead
sec.
of having it carbon.
Instead of having it carbon.
Which is probably 10,000 quid.
I'm sure the carbon is super expensive.
Yeah.
I'm now not going to be able to find an image.
It's all right, mate. I can vision it in my head.
Watching on YouTube will be able to see that image. Those of you that haven't seen the car yet at all, so basically Aston Martin have tried to, and I really applaud them for this, and I love what Aston Martin are doing at the moment, finally actually separate the Vanquish from the sort of DB model that it's relatively based on.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because obviously we had DB9 and the Vanquish, very similar apart from sort of some small elements, and then DB11 and DBS, very similar. Yeah. Whilst this Vanquish is, you look at it, okay, that's not a DB12, and it's definitely its own thing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
that's the good thing, in that it does look different from the rest of them. I suppose you can easily see is a Vanquish now.
It's long, by the way. Did you
Really
realise how long it is? It's
Yeah, it looked
80
massive.
millimetres longer in certain parts. Like it's a long old car.
Oh, that's probably why they had to lock the back off, because it would have been 120 millimetres. Like, well, this is
Do
way
you know
too
why
long.
you're so against the back?
Let's
It's
just
so-
finish it here. What? Like
I think it's so cool and angular. It looks a bit like, for me, a old Shelby Daytona. What was the Daytona Coupe? Remember that? Shelby Daytona
Yeah,
Coupe?
yeah.
Shelby.
It literally looks like they've drawn around a door and then just like whacked it on the
I'm
back.
so surprised. Look, there you go. The old Daytona Coupe.
Yeah, but look, that's different, mate, because that like slopes down at the back. The Aston Martin's just like a
No, look, it's the same vibe.
It's not, mate.
It's so pretty. There we go. Body coloured. I think it looks like a Polestar.
That does actually look better, yeah.
It looks like a Polestar.
Yeah, that's
like
exactly
that.
what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like a Polestar.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And whoever thinks they look good.
I really like it. I like, as I say, the amount of changes that they've done. This huge new front end, long new front end, massive grille. Inside they made some changes too.
Yeah.
Again, that's, I think, a big statement because it would have been all too easy just to have the same interior. So it's not a rebodied DB12.
But it is, the interior is, it's still got the same infotainment system and all that, right?
Of course, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Invent a whole new infotainment system.
No, that's what I'm saying. But
it's a mixed match. No, it's a mixed match of different cars. So elements from Vantage and DB12, and the actual design has changed slightly. So, for example, the buttons, because they've kept physical buttons, it's usually slanted on the central console. It now lays flat. The design around the screens is different. So if you sit in it, it would look and feel different to a DB12, but obviously remain the same. But they haven't invented new buttons.
Yeah.
It's just the layout, the design and layout.
Okay, fine.
So it's not as copy and paste.
Have you
as
seen
it
the
could have
car
been.
in the person?
No, I haven't seen it in person.
fine.
Only seen it on photos and imagery.
Right.
800 and something stupid horsepower, more than the Dodici Cilindri, 1,000 newton meters of torque, all to the rear wheels. And the only bit which I question is it's got a glass roof, but
That's it?
fixed glass roof,
A lot of them are doing that now.
no shade, as in it's got built-in tint, but no shade,
No blind.
no blind.
Yeah, that is
Unless they
punchy.
didn't mention. I only watched the Top Gear piece. To be fair,
Right. Okay.
there could be a blind, but Top Gear did not mention that. They just talked about the fact that it was permanently tinted, and I think it was Ollie Q did it. I think he said, "I'll just go for the carbon roof." It seems a bit. He said, "I'm getting cooked in here."
Well, then it might not have a blind.
With our heads, we can't be dealing with that, mate.
What? Mate, I can grow hair. I choose not to. You've finished.
Stop denying it.
No, just let it go.
Let it go, mate.
Let it go.
Forehead can't get much bigger. Yeah, as I said, we both like the TB12
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Vantage, I was impressed by, but I just didn't fall in love with. But I really like this new direction of Aston, and it is fully expected, I think, next week that they're going to announce the signing of Adrian Newey for the Formula One team.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
So lots of positivity, and this car is a car that I will be excited to drive.
But touching on that a little bit, don't you think that's a little bit of an odd signing from Aston Martin? Because the 2026 regulations about engine and not aerodynamics.
Dude, Formula One is about aerodynamics.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is that the car's going to have a lot less aero in 2026 than what they've got now, right?
No, but fundamentally, whether they have a less, the elements of aero might decrease. A Formula One car is still all about aerodynamics.
Of course.
And fundamentally, as a designer, that's not somebody that you ever pass up the opportunity to bring into a Formula One team just because you think the regulations are focusing on power. The same thing was true to 2014 rules. Obviously, that was all to do with changing the powertrain, but aerodynamics is still an absolutely ginormous part of it. But the fundamental truth is it's suspected that he's going to join the team for 2026, early 2025 with being able to implement things in 2026. It will take a couple of years for his influence to funnel through, because whilst everyone champions him, he still has to have a team around him.
Of course.
And so, for him to have to implement what he needs, that team is still 3 to 4 years away from the benefits of having Adrian Newey involved. It's a huge coup. It's a massive, massive coup and a huge signing. And
because everywhere he's been, he's won.
Yeah, historically, he has always delivered competitive cars, which I think is impressive. And let's see if I can find a stat, because F1 car performance engine versus aero, because it's still. I know what you're trying to say, that their aim is to reduce drag or reduce the amount of aerodynamic dependency, I suppose, on the cars to make them a bit, looser.
Bit more lively, yeah.
A bit more lively, but it's, the cars are still essentially...
Hoovers.
Yeah, upside down airplanes.
Yeah.
No, I can't find it. I was hoping there was a stat which said, Formula One cars' performance is 30% engine, 70%.
Yeah,
that's what I was hoping, but it's I haven't quite got that stat. But so I'm big thumbs up for the Vanquish. I think it's a cool thing, and I like it in the lineup of Aston Martins. It's going to be all the cash.
Start with a 3
easily.
Yeah.
Or delivered with a 4. I think.
Really?
I think list price will be 3, 4, 5. Once you've Q commissioned it, it'll be 4 something.
Oh my God.
I would reckon. But mate, the Dici Chilindri is £500,000.
Yeah.
So, and that's they're literally directly going after that car.
Are they?
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Okay.
They are all about the Dici Chilindri.
Is it £500,000 that car?
Yeah, mate. It's stupid, that car.
Why?
Because it just is. Because it's Ferrari.
Because it's Ferrari, yeah.
It's gone.
Okay.
F you, do what we want.
Yeah, F you.
By the way, I was supposed to be going to drive that in 5 days' time. I've had to cancel.
Oh.
Yeah. Which is like the first time ever I've had to turn down a Ferrari press drive, which I was absolutely gutted about. But I had a commercial gig that came in which clashed dates, and obviously
Of course.
so there's nothing I can do. I did ask if they had another date. They were very kind. They tried to accommodate me, but yeah, we'll have to pass that one up. So I think there'll be a handful of people going, so those reviews will come out, and I have to wait and get the car when it comes.
Yeah, of course.
To the UK.
Yeah, it'd be time, won't it?
Which is sad.
You could drive it on this terrible road.
Yeah, exactly. I already said in the email, I said, let me know when the car's available. I don't want it in this country. Yeah, I'll take it anywhere but this country.
I'll come to Italy.
Yeah, literally, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to pick your brains on something and see how much you knew about this. We spoke about it briefly, but I said save it for the podcast. So my mum is thinking of replacing her Evoque. Mm-hmm. She's coming to the end of, I think she had it for 3 years, or maybe it was a 4-year PCP. Anyway, she's thinking of changing it up.
Yeah.
And I was pushing her to a BMW X1.
Nice.
Obviously, big X3 fan. She probably doesn't need a car that big. I thought X1 would be perfect. That new shape car, fantastic.
Evoque, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think BMW's hybrid tech is
very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Super easy to live with. I just said this is going to be a winner. So found a couple of cars, called up with a couple of different dealers, and both said that they were really sorry, but the cars shouldn't have been on the website because they are currently caught up in this brake recall stop sale thing. Now, when I had the i5 on loan, do you remember it suddenly got taken back from me?
Yes.
BMW got in touch and said, we need there's been a recall, we need the i5 back. And I was like, oh, cool, like, can I just film a video next? And they're like, no, we need it back now.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't give it another week. They're like, nope, need it back now. And at the time we found out it was because, yes, there was this brake recall affecting quite a lot of BMWs.
But mostly electric ones at the time.
At the time, fine. And I didn't really think much more of it. They were like, we can offer you something. And I was like, no, fuck it. But now it turns out that this recall has been so prolific that so many 2023 and now early 2024 cars have been affected that firstly, there are cars that BMW dealers are taking back into stock at Part X or bought in.
X-demos,
whatever.
Yeah.
That they simply cannot sell right now.
Take them off the bloody internet,
Yeah.
starters. Because that's so frustrating.
Until the recall gets fixed. Now, I emailed BMW saying, what's going on with this? Like, what's the official line here? Because this is a bit weird. And the response I got back, hold on a sec.
Mind your own business.
What the retailer told you is correct, I'm afraid. The BMW X1 is part of a safety-related recall for the integrated braking system, alongside other models from the BMW range. BMW Group UK is in discussions with the DVSA
and will the driving standard.
And will announce the intended remedy actions imminently.
Yeah.
The Driving Vehicle Standards Authority.
Yeah.
So why are they speaking to them? Because they want to let the cars...
Because they regulate it all, don't they?
So if there's a...
They need to give the thumbs up once it's done. You can't just the cars. There's obviously
fine, so you do the fix, you do the inverted fix,
and then they have to okay it.
And then they have to
health
okay
and
it.
safety, ain't it? You can't just.
Because one of the dealers told me that they can't even get cars coming through from the factory.
Yeah, well, my BMW dealer with that I deal with, I was talking to him a couple of months ago, and obviously I knew this was going on, and he just passing comment, "Oh mate, we can't get new cars, blah 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 blah," and he told me why, but I just went, "Oh right, oh cool," like that, and never really thought anything about it. But it was only when you mentioned it the other day I thought, "Oh, so it really is that bad," as in.
So this is an article 7 days ago from Motor1.com. In February, BMW recalled about 80,000 vehicles because their integrated brake modules might not have worked as designed.
In UK?
Worldwide.
Right.
The German automaker is now expanding that recall to approximately 278,000 vehicles across a wide range of models as it issues a global stop sale on the affected cars.
Yeah.
So basically, you can't buy a new shape X1 in this country at the moment.
Well, so
No.
what happens to the people that already own them and that are driving them around and they sell them to an independent dealer?
Absolutely. If you've already got the car and sell them to an independent dealer, I mean, it is under a recall, isn't it? So you're theoretically driving so what happens here? If they crash due to this theoretically faulty part failing, what does the insurer then do?
No idea.
Yeah.
I literally don't know, mate.
Because you would have received the recall information via BMW, via post or whatever.
But they've obviously got no fix for it, right?
They've got no fix for it.
Right.
So they would just take the car and hold the car.
Yeah. Put you in a courtesy car.
Put you in a courtesy car.
I guess.
Hopefully isn't affected. But, mate, it's a mess.
It's a complete mess.
And both the dealer, and I'm reading that from BMW UK, I don't think they have a fix. They have no idea when this is going to get fixed. The dealer said to me it could be weeks, it could be months, but this started in February.
Yeah.
It's basically now September now.
6 months, 7 months.
So imagine if yours one of the cars from February and you're still waiting 6 months, you don't know. And I said, oh, well, look, can I just put a deposit down on one of these cars if it gets cleared up? That's the car that my mum wants. That looks perfect. They said, oh, but it could genuinely be like another 6 to 9 months. We have no idea.
Yeah, for BMW not telling them, they have to exaggerate it because you literally don't know, mate.
But what does that do to the value of those cars? If you've got a car that they're advertising now at 35 grand, ready for sale, ready to go, and then they sit there not being able to touch it on a stock recall for another 6 to 9 months.
Depends on demand. If when they release them all, the demand for X1s are through the roof, the prices will be all right. If
it doesn't matter on their books, they don't have to write like...
Oh, so they'll get support from BMW.
Okay.
They'll get some support. So
Fine.
BMW will say, there's an amount of support. I don't know this for sure, but it is a thing. It does happen.
They'll be supported
the
by... The
manufacturer will say there's some support for write down, basically.
Interesting.
Because they want to sell the car. Or they can't sell the car. And they own it.
Yeah, of course. That's what I mean. They're sitting there. That's what I thought. Sitting on the forklift, taking up whatever, and they can't shift it. Yeah. What a mess.
But this does happen all the time, by the way. It's just BMW. Yeah, mate. Happens. Land Rover have had it. Audi have had it. They all, Mercedes have had it. They all have these massive recall campaigns. Toyota had a big one. I think it's still going on. I think that was brake as well, by the way.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, mate. It's very common. It happens a lot.
And are these brake-by-wire systems? Are these...
No, they're not brake-by-wire, are they?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
Alfa Romeo. It might just be something
integrated brake systems. Is it a hybrid thing? Or is it an ABS thing?
Yeah, could be an ABS thing.
Integrated braking system recall.
Yeah, could be something to do with the auto braking.
Auto braking. Yeah.
A lot of these modern cars, they obviously have all my. Truck's got it. It's the most annoying thing in the world. You end up crashing.
So weird. Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
The problem is with the ABS and the DSC modules.
Yeah.
They can stop working. In that case, the driver gets an alert and braking can become very hard. There we go. So it's ABS and DSC modules. It's China, isn't it? China have got to us.
Well, that's what makes it.
The modules, yeah, I'm sure.
Either Bosch or made in China somewhere, or
I imagine BMW got Bosch modules, wouldn't you?
I would have thought so. Yeah,
keep it all in house.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Yeah, well, they are good as well.
Keeps
Bosch,
this one close.
Yeah,
if it needs its guys.
Sometimes you never actually really know the full extent as well, and I mean, it's going to cost them a few quid. They won't care, but.
No, as you say, it probably will come out in the wash at the end because once that's all fixed, I'm going to be on the blower saying, "Can I have an X1, please?" But
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, surprising either way.
Nice
What else should
little
I
car,
shove her
that
in?
as well.
Oh man, I think they're so
Great
nice.
little car.
Great looking little thing. She's not in love with the idea of a BMW, but I didn't really know where else to shove her. E-Pace is much of a muchness. And
The only thing that I'd say with a BMW compared to an Evoque, I like this saying, as you all know, it's a lot more crashy down the road.
crashy.
Especially if you've got like big upgraded wheels. You know, the Evoque drives down the road a lot more smoother.
It's plusher.
Yeah.
But there's not that many plush little micro SUVs or what
Well,
would
have
you
you seen
call
the new
that?
Tiguan?
Really?
The brand new Tiguan out.
Nice.
Oh, very nice, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's what I think this new BMW X1 is. It's like the older Tiguan, because when you look at the older Tiguan, when that first come out, that looked really lovely and modern, and everyone bought it. Like, you can't believe how many of them they sold, by the way.
Googling.
But there's a new one out. It's lovely.
But it's gonna be all the money, isn't it?
Well, be similar, be 40 grandish, bit more.
How?
If you can get them though, you might not be able to get them either.
It's very good looking.
Yeah, it's a pretty car.
It looks more like a Touareg than a Tiguan.
Correct.
It looks
is a
beefy.
little,
They've beefed it up a bit, haven't they?
beefed it up, yeah.
Made it a bit more grown up.
BMW done that with the X3 though, didn't they? Made it look a bit more like an X5.
They did.
Yeah.
How have VW got on with all their tech these days? Because they famously, that last generation was all a bit fiddly. Oh my God, mate, have you seen the size of the screen in this Tiguan?
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? All like
It's like a
spaceships now.
45-inch bloody wide screen. It's bigger than my TV at home.
Yeah, perfect, mate.
No, that's too much. That's
Too big for you?
distracting. Well, too big for my mum. She won't know where to look.
Right.
That's insane.
Well, the road will do.
Well, you can't see the road behind the screen. It's
Well, you can't. Don't be so silly.
Mate, that screen. Look at that shot there. Can you see that shot? Sorry, ignore the
Not the advert.
the advert.
Someone naked there.
Literally.
No, go on, show me that bit.
Look.
It's perfect, mate.
No, mate, that's ginormous.
It's the way of the world now. You know, they've all got these big. I mean, look at the Teslas, and even the Jag had a big iPad in the middle. You know, they've got it now, mate. The new Audis have got all that as well. It's lovely.
Okay, see UK. So
I thought you were going to swear then. See,
there's a lot of different variations. Which is the one to get when you get to Tiguan? What's the
get the petrol one. You can have the
Little
2
petrol.
litre or the 1.5. It's all right. TFSI.
prices start from 34 grand
Yeah, get an R
for the
line.
base spec.
Yeah.
Rise to 35,900 for the life model.
Yeah.
39 for the elegance.
Yeah.
Or 39,680 for the R line.
That's
That's
it.
the one you want. You want the R line.
R line with a couple of bits. Be 45 grand. Brand new one. It's all right. Pay 500 quid a year to tax it though. For the first 5 years.
Because
Because of the government, basically.
don't we love them? that's
because
going to go up in about 2 weeks' time. isn't
Luxury
it?
car tax.
Yeah, well, watch this space. We all know that's going to go flying high.
Yep.
They're coming for us. Yeah, that's quite nice. I don't know if my mum will get away with a VW. It's a
Why?
nice looking car though.
Because drive better than Evoque.
But mate, she's in a Range Rover Evoque.
It's not even a
I'm
proper
going to
Range
go
Rover.
to her. It was hard enough to picture BMW, and I'm going to go say, "Mum, what about a Volkswagen?
Yep.
A car for the people? You're mad?" I think she thinks her car's like a Bentley.
Yeah, well, that's nice, isn't it?
She's a cliched, you know.
badge snob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically. Basically hates my sister's Jeep.
Yep.
Despises it. Doesn't get it. She looks unsafe.
Your sister hates your sister's Jeep.
No, she loves
Loves
it
it?
now. Yeah, loves it. Okay, well, watch this space. Speaking about the government, those lovely people, did we want to talk about that article I sent you, the EV pay per mile?
Oh, is this the Tony was right again?
Oh, don't start. Oh, I can't bear it. Why do I fall into these traps?
Yes, this is another one of them moments. Isn't it?
When are those
Like
t-shirts
every week
coming out,
this
by the
happens.
way? When were those t-shirts coming out?
Did you order them?
I'm right, like Tony. Always right.
Oh.
Half the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was an article. Let's see. I think I got it on here somewhere. That was in the Guardian, UK newspaper. Very, credible UK newspaper.
Yeah. I used to read that every Sunday morning, didn't you? Still do it now?
Financial Times.
Got it online. Oh, do you have it online?
No, I actually do the
Pay a
Times.
subscription.
The Times on an app. Yeah, I don't do the
course.
Guardian. Guardian's just a bit too. Oh mate, it's heavy. The Guardian.
No good.
I like it for its investigative pieces. I like a good investigative piece.
But
on
it
the
is a
Guardian.
big, heavy paper, isn't it?
It's a chunky one.
But I used to do a paper round when I was a kid, and I used to hate Sundays because you'd have supplements.
Well, Sunday Times is a joke. Literally, it's like a suitcase.
Yeah.
Amount of stuff that falls out of that. And the Daily Mail these days, but who's reading the Daily Mail? Anyway.
Well, you're normally in it.
Anyway. UK electric car drivers should be charged per mile, say campaigners. Now, this is what I thought was interesting.
Serves you right.
So Rachel Reeves, obviously our lovely Chancellor, should reform vehicle taxes to fill the £5 billion black hole, says Campaign for Better Transport. So this is what I didn't understand. The Campaign for Better Transport want drivers to pay more. So the Campaign for Better Transport said EV drivers are scamming us all. Let's hit them hard.
Yeah.
Campaigners have called on the Chancellor to introduce a controversial pay per mile road charging scheme on electric vehicles. Now, it goes on to say it's, zero emission vehicles. So obviously we do know that at the moment those are electric, but this is in theory to capture anything that's zero emissions.
Yeah.
And they're saying it's because the less people are buying or theoretically going to buy combustion engine vehicles, we're going to lose out on fuel duty. And so therefore we're going to be a poorer nation, and therefore roads and all these things are
and
going to
tax as well.
It's a disaster.
Yeah.
Basically, buying an electric car at the moment is a disaster.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
But the bit which I think is as rogue as hell, it's like with a very simple mileometer measuring, like regular mileometer checks. I was like, somebody hasn't thought this through.
No.
But it is a fairly good point, which I hate to say you did make about 18 months ago, that the government had seemingly not really given much attention or thought to, that as this push to EV continues in various levels.
There's a void in the pot of money.
Yes, that nothing's been discussed about what will happen if we all do as the government wants us to and switch to electric or zero emissions vehicles. Suddenly, the government, who are apparently desperate for money because they're about to ask us all to give our money to them, they're going to lose billions and billions of pounds from fuel duty.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to find ways to charge all of us. Now, help me out here a bit because you're way more financially and this-minded than I am.
I think you're getting way better now, you know.
Well, thanks to you.
No. It's not just me. I think you listen to a lot of people. So don't talk. I really hate complimenting you, but you're not as silly as you look.
Well, it's a lie, but anyway. In these headphones, I've got somebody whispering all the information to me. There's a producer saying,
say this to me as well.
Could the government purely just put on a massive surcharge because they can't do electricity, right? Because if you're targeting electric vehicles, if you're charging at home, it's hard to tell what is a very powerful light and what's a car. I mean, I'm joking.
They could do it through the meter, couldn't they? Do it through the...
But could you tell why... Do you see what I mean? Like, how could you monitor the actual... You'd have to put it in the charging unit, surely.
Yeah. Do it through the meter. They'll just do it for the unit.
So to put a surcharge or a tax on electric vehicle charging at home and in public. So suddenly it's going to become very expensive to charge your electric vehicle, which it already is out there. So still that's a way for energy companies to make...
It's cheap at home, isn't it, still?
Yeah.
But it is, I think, eye-wateringly expensive as in a petrol station or, we've done this before. It's easily as expensive as fuel. But if you're charging at home, it is very, very cheap.
Comparatively
to fuel.
Because I think it's increasing.
Of course.
Yeah.
It will increase.
Because energy companies, let's not forget, are also fundamentally big players in this whole narrative.
Exactly.
And given the fact that they are making £700 billion of profit each year, they're not looking to give that up anytime soon.
No.
So they're also going to have a vested interest. And let's face it, they're also people who have persuading arguments when it comes to government agendas and things. So.
Of course, they're shareholders as well. So they obviously hit a target, they beat their target, and then they up the ante for the year after to keep the shareholders happy. So that's why we keep paying. And as well, when there's a massive correction, like a war and demand is high and product is low, and they got a real incentive to put the price up, they put it more up than what they should.
Of course.
Same with the fuel, because they take the mickey.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Then what they go is they go, oh, well, we're going to drop it a little bit for you now, but they're still in front because they put it up way too much in the first place. And there's always these, the RAC say it about fuel, and there's always these campaigns that go on. It's too expensive and cost of living and all that jazz. But long story short is that in this world, unfortunately, the big people get richer and the small people get poorer. That is the way. That's the way it is. And the governments always have to try and even it up with taxes. So the taxes that are going to be relieved from combustion cars, it's common sense, mate. It's got to come from somewhere. So they'll shift it onto electric cars.
But how would you do it, right? Because this is the thing, it's now being more well publicised, more well documented, the hesitation that people are having around EVs, depreciation, things like that. As we've been saying for a while, the products are getting better and better. We can't blame the manufacturers. They're only doing what they've been told to do. The products are fairly fantastic these days.
Some of them aren't doing what they've been told to do, by the way.
Yeah, some of them are
putting their fingers up saying we're not doing that anymore.
Literally. Yeah. And, having now lived with EVs, I did 6 months with the i5 and longer. But anyway.
Yeah.
We're not bashing the EVs necessarily,
no.
But where would you put the tax? Because you definitely don't want to do it on the sale price of the car. You don't want to start taxing people.
It's already too expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Already too expensive, and the depreciation, things like that.
There's already tax on the car, by the way, as well.
Public charging, too expensive already, because comparatively it's nearly on par with fuel. And
I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, and the infrastructure is not reliable enough. And if you're going to increase that, then it becomes more expensive than fuel. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it at home, surely that's pushing everyone's electric bills up. No, I still don't understand how that would work. How you would be able to say to somebody, we're taxing electric vehicle charging at home via the electricity. That still sounds complicated to me.
Yeah, I mean, but they're either going to go down that route, and the electricity companies will fit a device in the charger, or the charging company. There will be a device in there, and there will be a monthly bill, a direct debit that comes out, which that's how much you've used, and there's your tax. It's already on there. Or they'll implement this pay per mile thing for there'll be a bit, because there's no road tax on electric cars now, right?
You know more than me.
I mean, I don't sell electric cars, but
no,
if there is no road tax, it's tiny.
Yeah,
it'll be tiny. So they've got to get the money from somewhere, mate.
Yeah, it's another seemingly part of the EV switchover that hasn't been thought through. That could be another sort of reason for us all to be like, oh, hold on
we thought it through 2 years ago.
Well, yes, but I mean, well, you did. The mass public. I literally had a chat with my neighbour on the driveway today because she's in that MG4 and she's got a Cyberster on order.
Yeah.
Is that my alarm, by the way? No.
What do you look at your key for?
I actually don't know.
It's going to be flat.
I heard a car alarm outside, and I don't know why I looked at my key.
Look at your key.
I think I was looking for I was going to press the unlock button.
You're looking for the case if it's
flashing.
What the?
That was weird. I don't know why I did that. Yeah. And I was talking to my neighbour. She's got an MG4. She's got the Cyberster thing coming, and it's turned up. So she went to get. She did a car wow sales quote, and she couldn't believe the depreciation. And I said, unfortunately, this is the EV thing. She goes, well, I'm screwed over. I'm just going to have to hand the car back to the dealer and stomach it. But she's super pro EV, like super pro EV. But even she was like, I'm starting to see there's a lot of stuff here that's not really been thought through yet. And anyway, we mentioned it in the last week's episode.
To the podcast 4 years ago. We told her she wouldn't have bought one.
Should have. But Harry Metcalf did that. We touched on this very fascinating video over the summer talking about all of this. I agreed with 90% of what he said.
Yeah.
I think there's ways to interpret some of his information too. And I would say maybe I'm wrong, and I don't want to put words in Harry's mouth at all. I feel like he's a little bit more anti-EV than even we are. I could be wrong. As I say, I'm sorry, Harry, if I'm misquoting you. But I think, I would champion. I still champion EVs in some way. I still do see many positives and many opportunities for electric vehicles. I think a lot of that video really was like a sort of bit of a damning view on electric vehicles at the moment. But maybe he was just calling for action to sort of things need to change for this to really work. But anyway, interesting that these kind of articles are coming around. I just thought that was a really mad idea for this kind of, let's just check everyone's mileometer at like MOT and then charge them retrospectively or whatever it will be. But I do think in this next UK budget, we're going to see some stuff around cars and EVs and
absolutely
stuff like that. So
yeah. If there is a shortfall of £5 billion, the money's got to come from somewhere. Man.
Yeah, and they're trying to find some money, so we'll have to watch this space. Anywho, we have an exciting couple of weeks ahead because I've got some interesting cars lined up for test drive, which I'm going to try and get you in. There's some main channel video stuff going on, but also I'm going to try and get Tony behind the wheel of 992 GT3 RS. Hopefully.
Is that for podcast or main channel?
I'm filming a main channel video, but whilst I've got the car, I want to get you in it so that we can talk about it on the podcast.
Oh, perfect.
The new
That'd be nice.
Merc SL63.
Oh, I'd love to have a go in
Well,
that.
the thing is, everyone has slagged it off.
Oh, don't be like that, mate.
I'm really excited.
And me.
But everyone says it's a disaster, but the new AMG GT, which is basically the coupe version, is fantastic. So I'm a bit like, I think I'm just trying not to listen to the noise.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to have a go in that. And a few other cool bits going on. And then, yes, right round the corner is our second trial BTG tour.
Another holiday for us.
Another holiday.
Lovely.
Another time for us to put our feet up. So plenty to look forward to. We didn't do a stock watch this week. I'm sorry. We'll be back with some stock watch things for next week. Also, next week we want to solve your car buying conundrum. So if you are there thinking, I got 45 grand. I want something with 2 seats. I want it rear wheel drive. I don't mind if it's manual. It's big. Let us know. Let us try and solve.
Can't we do some cheap ones? Can't we do some
do whatever.
10 grand ones or something? 15 grand, 5 grand.
Well,
some
hold on a sec.
Poo-poo ones.
Hold on a sec. Calm down, Tony. Please submit in the comments section your criteria. What are you sitting at home trying to solve? What car bracket are you trying to find an answer to? And we will pick some of our favourites to respond to.
Yeah.
So I don't care. It could be, I've got £500,000, but I hate Lamborghinis. What should I buy? Or I've got 5 grand and I want a sports car. So whatever it be, but don't make it, I want it to be real. Don't just think stupid stuff. Don't just try and challenge us. I want genuine, actual, because I don't know, you must get this, mate. My inbox is full every week with, hey, Sam, I'm looking at a F-Type V6, but then I also noticed that I could afford a Cayman GTS, which is so real life conundrums that we're going to try and be like agony aunts.
And when we do the live podcast, mate, it's literally the questions.
Yeah, that's all we do
all the time.
That's all we do.
What do you think I should do? What should I get?
Real life agony aunts will come and try and solve.
I'm looking forward to that because I'm going on everyone.
I know you will. We're going to also offer such different cars.
Yeah.
Anyway, so tune in. That will be next week. For now, if you want to follow Tony between this week and next week, he's at Tony Gravelwood Car Sales on most social media platforms. I'm at Seen Through Glass. This podcast is at Behind the Glass __ podcast. Stay subscribed, stay notified, stay tuned. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.